Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look through McFarlane, Call of Duty, both Spawn and Tactical Spawn. These are skins from the Call of Duty game and make for some pretty cool figures. Ordered the bundle from the McFarlane toy store, took advantage of the bundle discount, the coupon code, and they finally arrived today. These are also popping up at Target stores right now, so let's take a look at the packaging. They're in the clear clamshell type package. McFarlane toys, Call of Duty, Spawn. In the corner there it says this is not a toy. As far as I'm concerned, it is a toy, just a badass toy. We have Spawn there looking pretty traditional and a ton of guns. On the back side you can see Spawn from Call of Duty, and at the bottom there is his barcode if that helps anybody. Next we have Tactical Spawn. He's got some tactical gear, bunch of guns, even a headset. On the back, Tactical Spawn, and at the bottom there's his barcode. So with no further ado, let's open them up. Alright, now that these figures out of the package, here they are with all their accessories laid out. They come with a ton of guns and weapons. That'll be really cool. You could use them for other action figures, or put them into your Spawn armory. Regular Spawn here has a total of 5 guns, display stand, collector's card, and then Tactical Spawn has 4 guns, headset, collector's card, and display stand. Pretty nice. In this video, we're going to take a look at each of the figures individually. We'll check out their accessories, height, and articulation, and we'll compare them with a bunch of Spawn figures and a bunch of action figures from different companies. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's start off with the regular Spawn. So here's a look at regular Spawn. Well, not exactly a regular Spawn, but the regular Spawn skin from Call of Duty. It has a cloth soft goods cape with a wire in it, and it's nice, but it's not quite executed as nicely as I'd like it to be. We'll talk about that in a little bit. 5 guns, collector's card, display stand, so let's take a closer look. It has that traditional Spawn look, that black head with the sort of white around it, green eyes. Looks like Spawn. As we go further down, he's got these bullets across his chest. They are removable. Well, if you wanted to cut them off, but they're not sculpted on is what I'm saying. Spikes on his arm, wrists, legs, of course. They always have one a lot larger than the other one. He's got little holsters on his thigh there. It's a good looking figure. He feels kind of small, kind of thin compared to the other Spawn figures. And like I said, he's got this cloth soft goods cape with a wire in it. We'll check that out in depth shortly. I have some complaints and some compliments at the same time. You can see it's a little bit sort of dirty. I did that on purpose, like he's in the war zone. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt, which I think looks pretty good. Typical Spawn, but nice texturing, nice details, nice sculpt, nice paint job. Now for his accessories, starting off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand. Typical McFarlane display stand we've seen countless times before. This one has a Spawn logo on it because it's part of the Spawn line. Very thin, very basic. Then we also have this collector's card. As you can see, Call of Duty, regular looking Spawn. On the back, a little description. If you want to read that, pause now. Now let's look at his guns. I recognize these guns. I think all of them came in the McFarlane weapons pack, number 1. Maybe at least one of them number 2. But they're repainted in sort of Spawn colors, red and black. One gun here, a little bit of a rifle. Sculpt is good. I mean, you can see nice sculpt of the magazine, the barrel, and it has sort of the wooden butt there. We have a grenade launcher. Once again, look at the sculpt on the handle and the barrel. Very well done. This large, oversized, kind of weird gun. In the Spawn comics, a lot of time they had really exaggerated, stylized, giant guns, I recall. Another gun looks like sort of made up for the Spawn universe, but the sculpt is nice. Once again, the red and black paint job. Then we have an assault rifle, a little bit bent at the tip. Heat it up, fix that pretty easily. The guns all look pretty good. These 2 are a little bit less realistic. These 3 a little more. Here's a look at Spawn holding that rifle. It looks fantastic with one hand supporting the barrel, other one on the trigger. And here, holding the grenade launcher. Here's Spawn holding that large, oversized weapon. Looks really good with one hand supporting it, another one with the trigger. Here's his fourth gun. And then Spawn holding his assault rifle, pointing it right at you. So let's talk about his cape for a second. I think it's a cool idea to have Spawn with a cloth wired cape, but I don't think they did a very good job with this one. Like I said before, the coloring, a little bit dirty. It's supposed to be that way. So the top here sticks up and it has a wire on either side so you can sort of pose it. But the wire is not connected down here, so it's just sort of floating loose in there. And that makes it really sort of hard to achieve some of the things you want to. So it's going to be, try my best, sort of just leave that thing alone, but you can kind of see where the wire stops down here. It's not connected. If it was connected, I think it'd be a lot better. And the cape has the exact same problem. Bendy wire going all the way to the bottom, and it's sort of frayed down there. But you can see at the top here where it stops. Not connected to anything, so you'll never be able to sort of pose it upward. It'll just fall right back down. Yeah, you can do some stuff sort of floating in the wind, but it has nothing to sort of support it up here. I wish it went and attached itself to his chest somehow, but it doesn't. It's just right here. There's absolutely no wire past where my fingernail is. So that's a little bit disappointing. The clamps look good. It has a chain sort of down there, and you could easily slip it off if you wanted to. And as far as reuse goes, it looks like this regular Spawn from the Call of Duty line has the same torso, stomach, and diaper area as the Throne Spawn and the Batman vs. Spawn. Different arms, different legs. Now they're taking a pretty good look at the figure and his accessories. Let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing right at 7 inches tall, which can translate to just under 18 centimeters. And for his articulation, starting with his head, of course you can rotate side to side. You can look up, not much, down a little bit. Tilt his head a little bit from side to side. Shoulders on a ball joint, goes up about 90 degrees, up, down, around. He's got that butterfly ring between his shoulder and chest, increasing range of motion, covering the gap that would be there. Bicep cut, double jointed elbows. His wrists can rotate, and it's hinged. Ball joint his torso, rotate around, forward and back. Another one in his waist, rotate around, forward and back. Between the two, pretty good range of motion. Legs complete with splits, McFarlane style hip joints. Rotation is decent. Legs go forward that much, back not at all. Double jointed knees. And his ankle, forward and back, rotate, tilt, rock, and toe articulation. Now to look at tactical Spawn. He has 4 guns, a headset, collector's card, and display stand. So let's take a closer look. It's tactical Spawn, and he has the same base body, although some different parts from the regular Spawn, and he has tactical gear on top. You can see his combat vest, all kind of pouches, looks pretty good. I believe it's the same head sculpt. He's got a red sort of bandana around his neck. Armor on his 2 arms here. Little Spawn logo on the side. Holster on the side for his pistol. More tactical gear all over him. He's got combat boots. It all looks pretty good. It's the same base body underneath, but the differences are enough. It warranted a second release, and I like it. I assume these are both 2 different skins you can use on Call of Duty, although I haven't played Call of Duty in years. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt, which is definitely the same as the other one. And for his accessories, it's the same display stand. Collector's card is a little bit different. Tactical Spawn. Here's his headset. And when I first saw that, I thought, oh, that's so cool. They're actually giving him a headset as if he's playing Call of Duty. But I'm sure it's really just part of his tactical gear. It's all black. You can see the microphone there. Good sculpt and detail, but the paint job could use a little more variety. Here's this Spawn with the headset attached. And then for his weapons, he has 4 of them. And once again, they're all from the McFarlane weapons packs. This is sort of weird, futuristic looking pistol. When I got it, I thought Cyberpunk 77. Then we have a little submachine gun. Good sculpt. magazine is in red. And we have this long sort of pistol here. It looks like something that was definitely intended for a Joker, a very long barrel. I'm sure that's why it was included in the accessory pack to begin with. And finally, we have this RPG. Rocket launcher, very large, good sculpt. Here's Spawn, holding that kind of weird looking pistol. And here, holding that long pistol or revolver. And here, holding that smaller submachine gun. And finally, here's Tactical Spawn holding that rocket launcher. He doesn't really hold it that well. You can see his hand not exactly going to it straight. You can hold it over his shoulder, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to be held like that. Or maybe one hand holding it with this other piece here. Either way, he doesn't really hold it very well. I mean, it looks okay, but the hands aren't exactly lined up the way they're supposed to. And Spawn here also has this holster on the side of his leg. It's an actual functioning holster, but it doesn't accommodate any of the guns that either one of these guys come with, so what the hell. And now to check out the differences in reuse between these two Spawn figures. So, their heads, exactly the same. The torso and stomach and diaper are the same, but he has his tactical gear on top, so you can't really see it. The arms, looks like the top is the same, but then they have a different forearm here with the armor and the spikes. The legs look like they could be the same at the top. They just added the stuff on there, which is sculpted. You cannot remove them. And the bottom part, definitely different. Obviously with the spikes, the boot. Like I said, same base body, but came out considerably different. Now for his height. From bottom to the top, standing about 7.1 inches tall. He stands just a little bit taller than the other guy, which makes sense because this one has combat boots on. And for the articulation, starting with the head, can rotate side to side, can look up and down just the tiniest little bit, tilt his head, shoulders on ball joint more than 90 degrees, up, down, around. It does feel like this is actually removable. It's all sort of rubbery on top, the armor. Double jointed elbows, the wrists rotate, hinged. He's got articulation in the torso, which you can't really use it with the combat vest. Ball joint in the waist, rotate around, forward and back. Legs go out about this far, a little bit obstructed from all the extra stuff. Rotation's good. They go forward, not nearly as much as the other one. All the stuff's sort of blocking it. Double jointed knees. Once again, knee pads removable, but this thing's rubber, but these are hard plastic molded onto it. And the ankle, forward and back, rotate, tilt rock, torticulation. Here's a look at the two Spawn figures on the Call of Duty streets, backing each other up. And a little further back shot, showing you my city street diorama. Now let's check them out, next to some other action figures, starting off with some other Spawn figures. Call of Duty is not the first video game that they've made Spawn figures from. We have these two Spawn skins from Call of Duty, and then in the middle here is a Spawn skin from Mortal Kombat 11. I think this Mortal Kombat 11 Commando Spawn looks really nice with these Call of Duty Spawn figures. Here they are next to all the different Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn figures in turn. Here are all the different video game Spawn figures that McFarlane has put out. Now let's check them out next to some of my other favorite Spawn figures. Here they are next to the Kickstarter Spawn, and here they are next to the Throne Spawn figure, then next to the Batman vs. Spawn figure, and finally next to both the regular and the Platinum Chase variant of the Proto Spawn or High School Spawn. Here they are next to several different Spawn rogues, then next to a bunch of other Spawn rogues. These are all mega figures. Here they are next to a bunch of older McFarlane Call of Duty figures. These are 6-inch scale. Typically nowadays McFarlane makes 7-inch scale figures, but they're all from Call of Duty. Then, next to some more recent Jazzwares Call of Duty figures, also 6-inch scale, but a little bit larger than McFarlane's offerings. Now let's check them out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how they fit in, both scale and style-wise, in case you know which lines you can mix them with. Since they're McFarlane toys, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the large action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller. But first, let's check them out with some of the McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale, and all from different various video game properties such as Mortal Kombat 11, Call of Duty, Borderlands, Fortnite, and Doom. And now, with some Jack-specific resin figures, and some Diamond Select toys. Here they are, next to a can of 7-Up, Shirley Temple. And here they are, next to some DC Direct and NECA figures. Then, with both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now, with some Mezco and Mattel DC figures. Next, with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, with some SH Figure Arts and Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, these are some pretty cool Spawn figures. Call of Duty, Spawn, Best of Both Worlds, how could you go wrong? Well, they messed up the cape. I think it's a huge fail. Basically just because the wire in the collar and the cape is not fully connected to the body. It limits you so much what you can do. You try to have that cape floating in the wind, just sort of falls over. And it's just kind of dinky feeling. Spawn is known for having these giant, massive, long flowing capes. And I realize it probably wasn't like that in the Call of Duty skin, but I think cape kind of sucks. Hopefully the next time they do Spawn with a cloth cape, they do a better job and actually attach the wire to the body so it can hold the poses better. Beyond that, he does look pretty cool. And then the tactical one, he looks cool as well. They share the same base body, but they look totally different, and I think it works. Figures are decked out with accessories, plenty of guns, and that'll be useful for some of the other action figures that I have. Sculpt paint job excellent, articulation is everything to expect, accessories pretty good. If I were to rate these figures, probably worthy of like a 7, maybe 6.5, that sort of area. I'll probably give them a 7. They are nice figures, but they could have been just a little bit better. That cape could have made that Spawn awesome, but instead it actually brings him down. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to save the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll talk to you real soon.